Welcome to Terrortown Talk with Coach Rock, Hidalgo. I'm your host, Coach Dan Meyers. First off, we need to thank our sponsors, Pyromic and Live Oak Agency. Couldn't do the show without you guys. We really appreciate it. Coach, tough week last week. What did we take from that game?
Our kids played really hard. I just think it comes down to some execution. I mean, it's the same story, and it's unfortunate, but it really is. We had some opportunities there. There was an interception where we ran the wrong route and kind of let the quarterback hung out to dry, and we dropped a touchdown pass. We had the inadvertent whistle on a play that they muffed, would have given us the ball deep down there, and we blew a coverage on. A three deep coverage, and the corner played man to man, and it's like a lot of small things. And unfortunately, the recipe that we've been using isn't working. I don't have a lot of answers for it. We're just gonna have to try. We got one more game. It's gonna be senior night. We'll get our butts out there and try to finish the season on a high note right there, and hopefully get some help and get in the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs are not out of the question yet. We got the showdown with Statesboro, not this week, next week.
Correct.
And that 4 seed still available. What highlights can we take away from this game? I know we talked about the interception. We had a couple turnovers on defense.
Yeah, and defensively, I think our kids played really hard. I do. I think they played incredibly hard in there. I think defensive line has been rock solid all year long. I think our outside linebackers and Colton Say and Drayshawn Stevens are, been two really good players. We've seen a lot of growth at inside. We got a lot of young kids playing in there. Peyton Parker and Devontae Lang will both be back next year. But as a whole, I think we've been playing pretty well on defense. We gave up one pass play that we probably shouldn't have. But their goal is to hold the team to less points than we score. Offensively, we're still struggling on the offensive line a little bit. Just some consistency in there, and that's disheartening. But we're going to go back and try to coach them and hopefully get better this week.
We're going to pause for a word from our sponsors.
Hidalgo, the Glen Academy Red Terrors. Just like the quarterback, a person's home is their most valuable asset. We like to use the big uglies up front to keep the pests out of our backfield. And when it comes to my backyard, I trust Peachtree Pest Control. Termites, rodents, ants, and any other types of pests, Peachtree Pest Control tackles them all for you. Protect your house and all your pest control needs. Contact Peachtree Pest Control. Go Terrors! Hello, Red Terror fans. This is Coach Rock, head coach of the Glen Academy Red Terrors. In my business, there's no better way to ensure victory than having a great game plan and being focused on the details. Phil Setzer of the Live Oak Agency on St. Simon's Island brings the same attention to your insurance needs as the Red Terror staff brings to winning on Friday nights. A locally owned boutique agency, the Live Oak Agency carefully selects its carriers in order to provide you with the best level of service, price, and coverage available. From the basics like home, auto, and boat insurance to your farming, business, or commercial needs, the Live Oak Agency can ensure your interest regardless of the circumstances. Come visit Phil and his staff at 1700 Frederica Road, Suite 202 on St. Simon's Island, or give him a call at 912-434-4220. Live Oak Agency, a proud sponsor of Glen Academy football. Go Terrors.
Welcome back, guys. Again, we appreciate our sponsors. Coach, we got a bye week this week. What's that look like for the team?
The JV game, the JV will be playing Brantley County on Thursday night at Brantley County. So we're going to spend a lot of time getting those guys ready to go. They had a win last week versus Richmond Hill. That was big. That was our first win on JV all year long. So, that's important when you get on the board like that. The other thing we're going to do, we're going to spend 2 good hard days practicing, getting ready a little bit for Statesboro, but really working on us a little bit. And then and Thursday, we're going to bring the kids in. We're going to go out and play maybe a little touch football and have a cookout after practice or after school, just kind of hang out a little bit. We got 3 tough practices next week before we get ready to go to Statesboro, but that's kind of our week. We give the kids some time off, step away, and hopefully we'll come back with a little renewed vigor on Monday.
As a coaching staff, do you guys do self-scouting during this time frame?
We always are self-scouting, so that's a process that we do throughout the year, just to see kind of what triggers that we have in there. So it's not something we do just on the off weeks. It's something we do every week.
Fantastic. You do say JV's got a game Thursday. Freshmen still playing? Are they rolling up to JV?
Freshmen. Some of the freshmen will play up with us, and some of the freshmen we've ended the season for ninth grade. It's been a crazy year. Had a lot of cancellations with ninth grade and JV this year. In the age of COVID, that's kind of where we are. The COVID chronicles. It's people get hit. It's interesting. People get hit with it, and then it'll wipe out. They can't play JV, can't play ninth grade. It's happened to us. We had to cancel a couple of games that when we had some COVID infections early in the year or so. But those guys got, I think, 4 good games in, and it's a good group. Those ninth graders are a good group of kids. I'm excited about those guys. Work hard in the weight room. I have them first block in the weight room. They work really hard, getting stronger, and a lot of those guys are going to play next year.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we're a really young program right now. You're really, really loaded with some young guys in the program. What do we think about middle school? You been able to watch any of their games?
A little bit. I've been over to watch Glen Middle and Needwood. Have not had a chance to get over and see Risley because we practice on Wednesdays, and it's just one of those things. It's tough to get over there. We'll try to get out maybe to a playoff game or the championship game in the next few weeks and see how that works out. But I like the kids. The Risley, or excuse me, the Glen Middle kids have got some some big, good-looking athletes over there. I know Risley's got some big kids over there. I'm actually planning on sneaking over there this week and talking to them in the mornings at school, and hopefully it's a good group of kids. We need some big kids. I mean, that's one of the things we don't have. We don't have a lot of guys that play with their hand on the ground. We're going to be thin there next year, which is why so many sophomores will play up for us next year.
Appreciate that, Coach. We're going to pause for another message from our sponsors.
This is Coach Rocky Hidalgo of the Glen Academy Red Terrors. When a whistle and a booming voice isn't quite enough, I turn to Pyromic to put on a show. From wedding sparklers to black cats to the Super Shell mortar, the largest reloadable mortar that you can purchase without the ATF coming to kick down your door, Pyromic has that special something that will fit in anyone's budget. For birthdays, anniversaries, corporate events, holidays, or gender reveal parties, Pyromic can help create a lasting memory for all your attendees at a great price. Or maybe you just want to be that guy and light off the Excalibur at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Mike can help with that too. Come out and visit Pyromic on Highway 341 across from the Tractor Supply Company. Go Terrors.
Guys, thanks to our sponsors. Coach, we got Scout Team Player of the Week.
Last week was a really good week for those kids. I think if we're going to pick one, it would probably be Camden Wilson. Camden's done a good job. Offensive line, tight end, fullback. He's kind of played all over the place. So Camden Wilson.
Way to go, Camden. Coach, you and I were both commenting on a Twitter post earlier this week, talking about the COVID bonus year in college affecting high school athletes. Are we seeing that here in our program?
Seeing it everywhere. And basically, what it's happened is because of COVID, everybody's gotten an additional year, and they can transfer without any penalty. And so you have what people have probably heard of the transfer portal. You have this transfer portal with thousands of kids in it. Well, there's a lot of schools that are just essentially going to the transfer portal and not signing high school kids. And it's been really hard. Last year was our least amount of kids. We worked, Nick Mutchinson signed in June to go to Fort Valley. It was really, really hard. We worked from November through June trying to get kids places to go to school. We were taking kids on visits in April, May, and early June, which has been unheard of. And this year hasn't changed much. It's going to be like this. My understanding is going to be like this probably 2 or 3 years. And if things don't settle down with the transfer portal, this might be kind of the reality, is that high school kids are going to be stuck on the out. They're going to have to walk on. More kids are going to have to walk on or earn their scholarship that way. And there's so many of the Division IIs and AIA schools are taking kids from this transfer portal, these drop-down kids. And they know they can go get a kid who played at University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, Central Florida. Well, they can come in and play at a Division II school, and they know they've had top-notch training. They know the whole deal behind it.
Yeah, they're a developed athlete. They're coming in. I know I was talking to a coach down in South Florida this week, and their recruiting philosophy at the college level, they've got 4 commits next year.
Yeah.
25 spots, they got 4 commits, and they're comfortable. They're excited to pick off the thing, and that's really going to trickle down?
It's been a lot. I've talked to a lot of colleges that aren't signing any high school kids. They're just going to completely transfer portal, and any high school kids they're going to bring in are going to have to be walk-ons, and those kids are going to have to earn a scholarship in year 2, 3, or 4. It's completely changed high school. It's changed college football, but it's changed high school football recruiting as well. So, it's sad to see that. Hopefully we'll find some balance with that, and colleges will kind of go back. I think schools are still going to come back and recruit high schools, some schools, and they want to invest and build that over 4 years. So hopefully that'll work out.
Yeah, hopefully we see NCAA step in and maybe tweak some rules with initial counters and that sort of thing, because you're cannibalizing your feeder program.
No doubt.
And well, Coach, it's Halloween week.
Yes.
What's the best Halloween costume you ever wore?
That's a great question. I like my Tony Sopranos I wore this past week. I think my wife and I dressed up as Tony Soprano and Carmela Soprano.
Yeah, you looked really comfortable in your boxers and undershirt and robe.
Pretty dapper in that myself, I think. Outside of that, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what I did. I did Sling Blade one year for a costume, and it was with a bunch of the party I went to was a bunch of European people, and nobody knew who I was. I walked around with a Sling Blade, going, I like those French fried potatoes, and nobody knew what I was. Nobody knew what I was, so it was disappointing. So there you go, stupid
That's
Europeans.
Fantastic.
So
they probably like soccer.
Yeah, definitely like soccer.
Coach, you got anything else for us?
That's it, man. Let's we want to have a good off week, get our kids healthy, come back and play next weekend on a win, hopefully get in the playoffs.
Fantastic. Well, fans, we appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you guys. This is Terrortown Talk. Dan Meyers, Rock Hidalgo. We're signing out. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. Have a great week.